Hey, it's Chris Bowling.
It's Chris Beyer.
We are CB Squared.
Yes, we are.
We have the honor, absolute honor, to interview Jeff with Handicapped Development Center, located here in Davenport, Iowa. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us.
Hey, happy to be here, guys.
So, Jeff, you and I have worked together for, my gosh, how many years? 7 or 8, I think.
It's been at least 7, right?
Yeah.
and you still keep coming back, so I'm grateful for that.
I love to come back. Yes, we love to support all your causes. And you guys just finished up a wonderful fundraiser here last week, right?
We did our annual auction, which we haven't done for 2 years now.
Oh, that's great.
Obviously because of the pandemic, but
Right.
we took a chance, did it in person at a different venue at a different time of year, and it was a great success. It was a big turnout, and I think people were happy to get out and to support us again. So it was exciting.
That is awesome. And when is your next one coming up? Do you know, Jeff?
We don't know for sure yet.
Okay.
We just got through with this one, so we're just going to take a little breather, and then I guess we'll see how the pandemic goes before we make any decisions as to when we'll do another one.
Yeah, there's a lot to be determined there. So
For
Jeff,
sure.
talk a little bit about your background, I guess, with Handicapped Development Center or HDC, and maybe a little bit of history of what the organization does throughout the Quad Cities.
Absolutely. So let me start with HDC. HDC has been around since 1969. So it serves adults with disabilities, particularly on the Iowa side of the Quad Cities, and mainly in Scott County, although we do serve some individuals from some of the surrounding counties. But frankly, there's enough need for just our services in Scott County that we focus mainly in Scott County. And we provide a variety of services to adults with intellectual and physical disabilities. We have 2 residential programs that where we provide services. One is where they live out in the community. Then we also have a residential center along with 3 group homes. We have an employment services program. We have 2 different day habilitation programs. And then we have a new initiative called HDC Enterprises, which takes the place of our old sheltered workshop, where we've transformed that into an actual community employment facility where we employ these participants, these former participants, as part-time HDC employees to do real work for companies like John Deere and Springfield Armory and Wall Clipper.
Awesome.
So it's an exciting organization. We're a much larger organization. People realize we have about 300 and we're hiring like crazy right now. So I don't know the number. It's probably like 380 people, full and part-time. And we serve about that same number of participants as well.
Wow. Yeah, so almost a one-on-one with participants and employees. That's, and when you look at your ratio.
It is. Now that includes all of our support people, and when you're operating 2 residential programs that operate 24/7, 365, it takes a lot of bodies to
Yes, it does.
take care of all the needs of those individuals and support them. My background is I sort of grew up coming to HTC. I had a brother who was a participant here in the 70s and 80s.
Wow.
And he was my brother. He was my roommate. As brothers. And of course, I knew he had a disability, but we were brothers. We beat the crap out of each other and play and have fun and do sports and stuff. But as I grew older, I ended up coming out here a lot, bringing him to work, picking him up from work, bringing him to parties and things like that. And I literally grew up just about 2 or 3 miles due south of where my office is at. He passed away in the mid 80s, but my parents stayed involved with HDC, very heavily involved, as a matter of fact. Well, come the early 2000s, I was asked to join the board of directors as I had gone off to make my own career and my own family. Spent 13 years on the board, and the last 4 years as board chair. And then when my predecessor retired after a lengthy career here, I was asked if I would consider changing my career.
Wow.
Because they were looking for somebody who had a passion for the organization, somebody who had some business experience, and most of my experience was in the business world, and somebody who wasn't going to just come and pad a resume, somebody who was going to have some staying power. So I've been here for about 7.5 years now, and I haven't regretted it. It's the best reason I can think of to get out of bed and come to work in the morning.
That's so awesome. Yeah, and just to have your lifelong experience with the organization and, like you said, having that passion, I think that definitely comes through.
Yeah.
Right. So looking ahead, let's say 12, 24 months, Jeff, what are some of the big projects you have staring at you right now?
Well, I don't think we're any different from a lot of organizations, whether they're a not-for-profit like us or a for-profit or any other type of organization. Obviously, we're reacting and trying to be as proactive as we can with the pandemic. And we've been hit very hard by the pandemic over the course of the last whatever it's been, 19 or 20 months now. We've had multiple outbreaks. A lot of people, both staff and participants, become sick, but we've been very fortunate in that everybody's recovered.
Oh,
So our goal is to keep everyone safe, keep everyone healthy, and try to do everything we can to keep our services open, because we did not, even though we had to adjust our services when the pandemic first broke out, we did not lay people off. We just refocused where we were putting our efforts.
That's awesome.
So goal number one is to keep everybody safe. Goal number two is to keep all of our services up and running. And then I would say the other thing that, again, like everybody else is dealing with, is to get ourselves fully staffed. We have truly hired in about the last 3 weeks, about 35 new staff. We probably have about 35 more positions open. And we are, for the first time, feel like we have some momentum. We feel like we're finally getting.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, we've done a lot of shifting this year to try to make sure that we were being as competitive as we could. And our challenge is this: the rates that we get paid are pre-negotiated rates that come through the state of Iowa through their Medicaid funding. So I'm not selling a hamburger. I can't raise the price.
Correct.
So if I raise a wage to be more competitive in the market, I've got to figure out, where that's going to come from some other part of the budget. And we've been doing that, and we've been doing it hopefully successfully. So those two things are huge. But the other thing for us is we also have some strategic plan things that we're looking at. How do we continue to grow as an organization, because we have other people out there in our area who we know need our services, who are not getting our services.
Right.
So how do we find them? How do we get them into our funnel? And how do we expand the services that we have? Because some of our services, quite candidly, are close to getting capped out. And so we're looking at how do we expand those services, because the need is so great, and where we fit. So, and that's just within our sandbox. We're not trying to play in anybody else's sandbox, because if we wanted to, I don't know, serve children or something like that, which we don't do now, we could do that. But there's other organizations who do that and do it well. So we're just looking at staying focused on our core demographic and growing from there. And
really, just like you said, to help serve those in the community that don't have your services today. I mean, that's an eye opener to think about, that, as all the work you do with all the staff and all those that you serve, you're just not meeting the community need yet, because there is more to be done.
There is, and there will be more. I mean, that funnel will always stay full, and so we're looking forward to growing in that regard. But we're in a very unique world right now, where we have to try to be proactive in our strategic thinking, while also reacting to a lot of external environmental things that are hitting us.
They're coming quickly. They're coming quickly.
Yes.
Well, I certainly applaud you that you were able to find 35 people to hire. So that is the first challenge. But help us understand, what are some of the opportunities a new hire has at HDC? Why do they come, and why do they stay?
Well, a lot of people come in. We call them direct support professionals. These are people who work with our participants and residents very directly, and they work with them in very intimate ways. And when I say intimate, they might help them eat, they might help them toilet, they might help them bathe, or they might do things that are maybe not quite that intimate, where they're helping them budget and learn how to do their laundry or stay on top of their laundry, things like that. People who want to do that kind of work are very special people. They're not necessarily the people who are going to be working at Hy-Vee. Maybe their life circumstances require them to work a different shift. And maybe what we seem to be finding is a lot of people who just want more meaning in their career than getting a paycheck. If they come work for an organization like ours, they're probably not going to get rich doing it, but there's going to be so many hidden benefits that never show up in that pay stub, that those are the people we're looking for. People who want to, they want to earn their pay. They want to work with people because they've got a caregiving heart, and they also want to make a difference at the end of the day. So
absolutely,
that's
great.
You have many challenges through the day. What is a quote? What is you have a mentor that you can kind of leave us with that makes us think?
Yeah, we've focused a lot right now on culture. And so my quote for the year has been, culture is everything.
I love it.
And of course, I'm not talking about cultural diversity. I'm talking about our work culture. Yes. And people have a lot of opportunities right now. And so if your work culture is not a healthy one, we all know about the Great Resignation. They'll just leave. So we've
Yeah.
really been working on making sure that our work culture is improving, that it's healthy, and that it's inviting. We're not perfect yet, but we're working on it, and we're really trying to make sure that we're a great employer in the Quad Cities community.
That's
I
awesome.
agree.
Well, Jeff, we appreciate you joining us for CB Squared in Focus. It's been fun to learn about you and about HTC and the work and the passion that you have for those that you serve. We appreciate you joining us today. Thanks
It's been
so
a
much.
blast. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jeff.
it.